Okay, I'm not sure if I'm live. I'm just gonna see here. Je vais faire, c'est urgent ce je vais faire là, mais c'est important que tout le monde suive. Mais je vais essayer de vous, parce que les documents sont en anglais, je vais essayer de vous le dire en français, mais je vais revenir en anglais. So, anyways, right now, what I'm going to do is I've got information to spread out to everybody in Ottawa, to all the truckers, to everybody, the lawyers, so that everybody can be prepared with legal documents that can hopefully protect everyone. So I'm just going to check to make sure that I am online. Not sure here. It says I'm live. And, okay. It says no for Facebook. Connection error for Facebook. Okay, now let's see. Oops. Hi, James. I'm online. Am I on Facebook? Can somebody tell me if I'm on Facebook? I'm not. Are you on Facebook or you're on YouTube? Salut, salut, Guy. Okay, I'm on Facebook too because here it's telling me I'm not on Facebook. But it should be YouTube and Facebook at the same time. The reason I'm doing this is because it's an emergency for what's going on in Ottawa. Everybody needs to. Okay, thanks, James. Everybody needs to listen carefully because what Trudeau is illegal at the international level. He's not allowed to derogate from our rights or to stop the truckers from being where they are. It's important that all the lawyers know and all the truckers do, and that once we're done this, that everybody print the information on non-derogation and gives that to the truckers so that they'll know their rights, and that everybody learns to say they are standing there within their political and civil rights and to gather, because Justin Trudeau cannot pull what he's done. What he's doing is a coup d'etat under the Great Reset. Everybody associated with him that has voted for these measures, these new emergency measures, is also guilty of perpetrating a coup d'etat against the Canadian citizens in regards to the fact that everybody's there to protect our country, our children, their future, and so that how can I say so that nobody else is being abused in regards to all of these measures that they have come up with. So in regards to what's going on with the non-derogation, it's important, again, that the lawyers understand that under that, we would be able to, how could I say, bring Justin Trudeau up for charges at the international level in the sense of not, derogating from our rights, because by going ahead and instilling this right now, these measures, even though he's got 7 days and Parliament could kind of retract that, at the international level, he needed to go to the international level first and not implement that. He's got to give them a good excuse at the international level as to why he's bringing these measures in, and because it goes against our rights of assembly. Okay, everybody has the right to assembly when we're trying to save our country and our children's futures and the future of all of our loved ones. So are the truckers putting Canada in jeopardy? No. Trudeau put Canada in jeopardy as of the minute that he declared SARS-CoV-2, the pandemic. We know that that's not even true. We can prove in the court of law that the virus was not lethal enough to hurt anybody or to have reason to go into, shutting down the economy, sending everybody home, doing the lockdowns, and then forcing injections that don't even do anything really for it, because we can prove in a court of law that the actual isolation of it proves that it would only hurt extremely ill people and the very old. But the rest of Canadians, as far as the document states, it's nothing more than what we're already used to. So there was no reasons for any of these measures. The only thing that they did was to implement that so that they can implement their Great Reset, and he deserves to be arrested by the RCMP at this moment. If anybody's caused mischief, it was Justin Trudeau, the Liberal Party, and everybody involved in the World Economic Forum and implementing those in Canada. So I'm going to go directly now to the measures. And there's other information that you need to have. So anyways, where is this here? Okay. So I'm just going to try to bring this back up. Oops, that's not right. Okay. Oh, jeepers. Okay, this keeps coming up. I'm going to bring that down. Okay, doesn't want to come up. Now I don't know why that does this. Okay, we're just going to shut that off and go back this way. Okay, now I'm going to do a screen share. This information, like I said, has to go out to everybody, even the RCMP, the police. They have to know that what they're doing is illegal, not just by a long shot. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so you can see better and try to move this. I don't know why I can't move it. Oops. That's not it. Okay. Darn. It's giving me a hard time here. Okay. Try this again. Okay. Maybe it's because I hadn't opened it up all the way. Okay, here we go again. So this here comes directly from the United Nations. It's International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. And I'm going to see if I can bring it up. Yeah. Okay, now this is working. Now, here it says, okay, make it bigger so you can see. Okay, statement on derogations from the covenant in connection with the COVID-19 pandemic. A number of state parties to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights have in recent weeks notified the Secretary General, pursuant to Article 4 of the Covenant, of emergency measures that they have taken or are planning to take with a view to curb the spread of coronavirus. So I'm just going to skip these words here, okay? In derogation from their obligations under the covenant. It has been brought to the attention of the committee, however, that several other states, state parties, Canada, have resorted to emergency measures in response to the pandemic in a matter seriously affecting the implementation of their obligations under the covenant without formally submitting any notification of derogation from the covenant. So every country had to actually apply first. So what Trudeau should have done, even with this 2 years ago, and even now, is if he's going to enforce, he's actually legally now enforced the emergency measures at the national level. The minute they call this at the national level, he has to apply at the international, or report himself at the international level, so that he has the right to derogate from some of our rights. But there's some rights that he cannot derogate from, and that even in war. I've repeated this many times, and if people haven't listened before, you need to listen now. So anyways, I could read all of this here. But I'm just going to go here. Where measures derogating from the obligations of state parties under the covenant are taken, the provisions derogated from and the reasons for the derogations must be communicated immediately to the other state parties through the Secretary General. Notification by a state party must include full information about the derogating measures taken and a clear explanation of the reasons for taking them, with complete documentation of any laws adopted. Further notifications is required if the state party subsequently takes additional measures under Article 4, for instance, by extending the duration of a state of emergency. So now how can I say, because they've implemented this, even when when he didn't declare the emergencies for the last 2 years at the national level, because all of the provinces declared them, he was still subject to have to do this and to go to the Supreme Court of Canada and to the Parliament to get an okay and to really justify himself, and he's never done that. So he's actually guilty of enforcing all of this on the people. And what they're doing is he's guilty of a coup d'etat. Okay? They are all guilty of a coup d'etat. This is what's happening. The people need to rise up, really stand up, because we're losing all of our rights to this coup d'etat. This is going to be the third one. And, you know, they did one in 1931. I can prove that. They did one in 1982. I can prove that. And we can prove that they are doing one now. So the RCMP and the police need to arrest him and everybody else that is going to try to interfere in the convoy and people protesting to try and save this country, their children, their families, and their futures and their lives. Okay? Because we still don't know what the consequences are going to be of these injections that he's been pushing and he's been profiting from. So Justin Trudeau needs to be arrested for treason against all Canadians, as well as everybody who's associated to him under these measures. Okay, and now I'm just going to also go here and get this one. Okay, so now we've got this one. It continues here. State parties should not derogate from covenant rights or rely on derogation made when they are able to obtain their public health or other public policy objectives by invoking the possibility to restrict certain rights, such as Article 12, freedom of movement, Article 19, freedom of expression, or Article 21, right to peaceful assembly, in conformity with the provisions for such restrictions set out in the covenant, or by invoking the possibility of introducing reasonable limitations on certain rights, such as Article 9, right to personal liberty, and Article 17, right to privacy, in accordance with their provisions. State parties may... Oh, jeez, I did that again. Okay, where is it? Okay, yeah. Now, I'm going to go back here again. Okay, get this again here. Make sure that I don't click anywhere. Let's move that. So state parties may not resort to emergency powers or implement derogating measures in a manner that is discriminatory or that violates other obligations that they have undertaken under international law, including under other international human rights treaties, for which no derogation is allowed, not even in war. He cannot do this, even under the threat of war. Okay? What, now he's declared war against the citizens? Well, he needs to be jailed. The RCMP needs to stand up and protect the people. Okay, where am I here? Okay, international law. Okay, nor can state parties deviate from the non-derogable provisions of the covenant. Article 6. Okay, I've done this. Sorry about that, people. Did I do that? Oh no, it's just being repeated. Nor can state parties deviate from the non-derogable provisions of the covenant. Article 6, right to life. Article 7, again, prohibition of torture or cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment, or of medical or scientific experimentation. Everybody has been, crying Nuremberg 2.0. This is the law that you get them with, okay? Against our political and civil rights. So again here, scientific experimentation without consent. Articles 8, paragraphs 1 and 2, prohibition of slavery, the slave trade, and servitude. Articles 11, prohibition of imprisonment because of inability to fulfill a contractual obligation. Article 15, principle of legality in the field of criminal law. Article 16, recognition of everyone as a person before the law. And Article 18, freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. Nobody should have been fined. Nobody should have been imprisoned under the emergency measures. These were all broken by the provinces, And Trudeau should have went to the international to specify why he would do such a thing, but these are the ones that they were not supposed to derogate from. I gave this information in April of 2021 to JCCF for their court case in Manitoba. They did not use it. They did not use it. I don't know why, but hey, they had it. Or from other rights that are essential for upholding the non-derogable rights found in the aforementioned provisions and for ensuring respect for the rule of law and the principle of legality even in times of public emergency, including the right of access to court, due process guarantees, and the right of victims to obtain an effective remedy. Okay? So this is, again, this other things. Now, freedom of expression and access to information and a civic space where a public debate can be held constitute important safeguards for ensuring that state parties resorting to emergency powers in connection with the COVID-19 pandemic comply with their obligations under the covenant. Okay, so these are the two. You'll see this in our Facebook right now. I've put them there before. Just go down, but I'll set it up after and put the PDF so that everybody can have it. I had also included this to David Lametti way back when I first sent him the two letters in June 14th, 2021. Okay, so it's not like David Lametti doesn't know this. They know. So anyways, I'm going to also do a stop share here. So I'm going to just turn it over to French. Là, ce que j'ai montré, là, c'est ce qui est les lois de non-dérogation à l'international. Et c'est ces lois-là qui protègent les citoyens au niveau de nos droits politiques et civils. Puis c'est important que les citoyens sachent là, que c'est ça. Puis que Trudeau n'a pas le droit de faire les mesures comme c'est là. Faut qu'il applique à l'international avant. Il l'a pas fait. OK? Puis même dans une chose d'urgence, là, c'est pas vraiment une urgence. Alors, tout ce qu'il fait, là, devrait être contre la loi. C'est lui qui a brisé les lois. C'est lui qui devrait être enfermé. Et tous ceux qui ont participé là-dedans parce qu'ils sont à faire un coup d'État. Qu'est-ce qu'ils font en ce moment? C'est un coup d'État. OK? Alors, on a le droit d'être là, on a le droit d'être au Parlement, on a le droit de manifester. Ils n'ont pas le droit de déroger là-dessus, même en temps de guerre. Alors, c'est grave, là. L'heure est grave. Alors, s'il vous plaît, autant de personnes, supportez les camionneurs. Nous, on va continuer à fouiller dans la loi, là, mais c'est le temps que les avocats nous écoutent. C'est le temps que les camionneurs nous écoutent aussi, et tout le monde. Parce que c'est ça notre droit politique et civil qui va nous mettre au-dessus de la gouvernance. Ils ont fait 3 coups d'État depuis 1931. En 1931, okay. Jeez. I'm going to go check to see if you can see me here. Okay, where am I? Wow. The internet cut me off. Okay. Jeez. Okay, est-ce que je suis revenu? Am I back? Can somebody answer yes or no? Hello, hello, hello. Anybody in the chat? Okay, 7:40. Wait, okay, I should be okay. I hope anyway. Jeez. Nothing like getting booted in the middle of getting excited. Fait que là, okay, I'm going to keep going back in French. I don't even know where the heck I was when everything disappeared. But anyways, thank goodness for this program. But anyway, je t'appelais dire là, que qu'est-ce qu'ils sont à faire, c'est un coup d'État. Puis il faut arrêter Justin Trudeau. Il faut trouver un moyen de l'arrêter au niveau légal. Puis on a assez de preuves pour être capable d'aller en cour et prouver que oui, c'est des coups d'État qu'ils ont fait. et que qu'est-ce qu'ils font comme cela n'est pas légal. Alors, on va vous laisser là-dessus, là, mais je vais mettre toutes les informations après. Oui, 3 coups d'État, 1931, 1982 et maintenant. Alors, faut les arrêter, puis on a les preuves que en 1931, ils ont assermenté que sous le roi, dans ce temps-là, là, même si on a eu notre indépendance, que le peuple était directement sous le roi, pas le gouvernement. Mais ici, qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait en 1931, c'est qu'ils sont mis au-dessus. OK? Ils ont pris le droit, notre droit, pour leurs droits. Et ils nous ont tenus comme ça, puis là, Trudeau l'a refait encore, il l'a refait vraiment là, en 1982, où c'était le deuxième coup d'État au niveau de nos droits politiques et civils collectifs. Et c'est ça qui nous a enlevés. C'est nous qui a le droit de gérer le pays et non le gouvernement. Le gouvernement, ils sont supposés avoir un mandat de nous, puis qu'on lui dise quoi faire. Ils n'ont jamais fait ça. Puis c'est pour ça que va lire mon commentaire plus haut. OK. Excuse. C'est pour ça que c'est important là, que les gens regardent vraiment qu'est-ce qui se passe. Allez lire notre livre, là, notre e-book pour le Power Shift la liberté. Mais c'est temps de faire le Power Shift. On a assez de preuves là, pour les arrêter, mais ça prend les citoyens. Alors, s'il vous plaît, allez à lepowershift.ca. Puis, comme c'est là, va falloir là, discuter avec les policiers, envoyer toute l'information aux policiers. Moi, je vais m'occuper de ça d'ici à demain matin, là, que ça soit fait. Puis encore, je vais essayer de procéder d'essayer de donner des charges, mais ça va être très dur. Mais on va emmener les documents, puis je vais aller les placer là, demain matin. Donc, surtout que je peux toutes les mettre ensemble, mais c'est pas évident. La GRC, là, vraiment, devrait écouter, puis sinon, il devrait aider aux camionneurs de rester en place, les encourager, parce que pour la GRC, c'est leur pays aussi que Trudeau est prêt à voler, et il était prêt tout faire là, contre les enfants des gens de la GRC, puis les policiers, puis tout le monde, là, tous les citoyens canadiens, d'après se faire avoir avec le Forum économique mondial. Ça l'est un coup d'État. Faut arrêter ça tout de suite. So anyways, now I'm going to go back in English, and what I was saying is that we are under a coup d'etat. They are stealing our country, our rights, and everything else. We need to stop them now. The police need to support the truckers and everybody that's protesting everywhere across the country. They need to stand up with us and stop what is happening. The World Economic Forum is trying to, in the Great Reset, it is a worldwide coup d'etat, and every country needs to stop it. And this is why Canadians need to stand together now with the convoy, with the people, so that we can make sure that we retain our natural resources, our rights over all of that. And in 1931, we had 3 coups d'etats, 1931, 1982, and now. 1931, there was a stipulation when Canada was liberated. Giving independence to a country back in 1931 did not mean... It made the government be able to make laws for inside the country and that, but it did not give us liberty, freedom, okay? Independence does not give you liberty, and this is according to the UK. And what the king did is that he did a new oath, and the new oath said that, and he was specific in this, that the people are immediately underneath him, and that we're the ones in control, okay? So this is what transpired at the imperial conferences. But when they came back, it's not what they said, okay? So I had to pay $50 for a document to be able to find that one little paragraph. But it was well worth it, you know, but it does say a lot. And these are things that we could debate in court, because we'll need to prove that, yes, Trudeau is doing a coup d'etat, and that won't be hard to prove at all. And they've been doing it all along. So they've stolen our rights, our collective rights to self-determination and self-governance. But when a country is given independence and self-governance, we were not given self-determination, okay, other than the king gave that to us, not to the government itself, okay? So Trudeau right now does not have, and the Parliament of Canada do not have parliamentary sovereignty. That could also be debated in court. And the reason that Canada does not, although they seem to have parliamentary sovereignty for what's going on here. In regards to our constitution is still alive and well in the UK legislature. And as long as it sits in the UK legislature and it has not been repealed, it's in full force and effect and still in the hands of the UK. And we've got proof that the UK has said that as long as it's there, we are their responsibility. The reason why it's there since 1982 is because Trudeau and all of the other premiers after that did not fulfill the obligations that were implemented into the Constitution that the government had to do in regards to the French people and the Indigenous nations and Canadians. We should have had referendums. They never did them. In 1997, the UK asked if they could repeal the Canadian Constitution out of their legislature. Canada said no. They weren't ready, meaning we weren't ready. So they never, when 1982, they never actually finished what they were supposed to do to bring that constitution home. They were not supposed to get royal assent until those things were done. And that's why it's still stuck in the UK to this day, waiting for repeal. But we, as the people, need to get that done. And that's why you need to sign your Citizens' Convention of Consent. That is the one document, the legal document between citizens that will get us our rights to self-determination, which is our rights to collective political and civil rights that the Canadian government has stolen from us ever since. So I can show you all of these things and do a screen share, but I'm having problems with my internet. So I think it's more important right now to, I'll be back a little bit later, but it's more important right now to make sure that everybody gets the message about the non-derogation and that, print them out, give them to everybody because Trudeau is not allowed to implement that law right now. Even if he's waiting for Parliament, they can't do it legally because of the international laws that he's signed onto. And we have another document that states that yes, international law, even though it's not embedded into our constitution, because it forms part of Section 52 and all of the things that Canada agreed to, it is an automatic. Those rights are automatic in our Constitution as though they were already written in there. If they try to tell you otherwise, they have not studied all of the laws that pertain to this. So they're only following what they've been told. Lawyers are only following what they've been told and not really research the international level and what it means for our rights at this level. Okay? They've only... and same with the Indigenous nations. They were not given those rights either fully until UNDRIP came along. And now they had to, but at the same time, once they crash the economy, we need to stop them before they crash our economy. That's what they're doing. So they would be responsible for the debt that they incurred, all of the falsehoods that they did for the last 2 years. They should be responsible for all those debts, and they need to go to trial. This is criminal intent. Nothing short of it. There's enough proof out there that we can prove this as long as we had a decent judge. But because of all this, we can even, so far what I've seen is the judges are more up to par in the UK, not so corrupted as in Canada. And if the judges here in Canada don't want to get that stigma attached to them, they need to walk a straight line. Because so far, instead of applying the rule of law, they're applying it's like they're blogging instead of giving us a good judgment at the end of a trial or a hearing. All they're doing is blogging to the people and saying, well, we don't know enough. It's not up to them to decide if SARS-CoV-2 is dangerous or the pandemic or whatever. They need to follow the law. If they are derogating from that law, they need to understand that. Okay, so they needed to know that the government was not allowed to derogate at the provincial level or the national level from our rights to assembly, our rights of freedom to be able to come and go, they were not allowed to lock us into our homes the way they did. They would have had to prove that the SARS-CoV-2 was dangerous. All they kept saying is, yes, it's dangerous, but they never actually did it or researched it. So I'm gone again, people. Uh, uh, uh. Okay, so I don't know. Am I here? Okay, well, looks like that's it. Yeah, it fucked up again. Okay, I'm back. I'm not sure if I'm online. Should be. Okay, I'm not seeing anything here. Facebook is still waiting. I'm online on YouTube. Still waiting for Facebook. Yes, I am. Yeah, it all depends where. Right now, Facebook seems to be a little bit slow. But anyways, I'm going to have to cut this short, put all the information. But it's important that everybody knows that we have a good legal standing ground. If the lawyers want to take the time to research this or to speak with us, it's important that the message gets out. So I'm going to try and reach a few of them, but right now it's going to be probably very hard. But if you can pass this information around, even though I kept jumping in and out, please have them contact me. If you're a lawyer, please contact me at 226 777 5580, and I will send you all of the information, or send us an email at nicole at thepowershift.ca, or contact at thepowershift.ca. We'll get your message. But we need to be able to send you this information and to try and stop this in its track. Everybody needs to stay in Ottawa. Everyone needs to go in Ottawa and everywhere else, wherever the truckers are. You need to support them, because this is a coup d'etat. You want to protect your country, you do it now. You stand by these people. Otherwise, we'll have nothing left. Bon, c'est encore parti. Oh my God, my God, my God. Okay, everybody. This is crazy. C'est fou, là. J'arrête pas de me faire déclencher. Puis, je vais être obligée de revenir là, plus tard. OK? Alors, s'il vous plaît, essayez de passer le message. Envoyez ça à tout le monde. On va essayer de s'organiser, là. Je vais revenir aussitôt que je peux revenir en ligne. Mais c'est pas évident. OK? So, anyways, thank you, everybody. I'm going to cut this out right now because I keep getting cut off, and I'll be back later. But please, if you talk to the lawyers, talk to the truckers, let them know to say that they are standing inside their political and civil rights, and that Trudeau has no right to do this. He has to first declare it to the United Nations, and immediately, and he's not allowed to derogate from our rights, which is the right to of assembly. You have the right to protest there. Right now, we need to be able to stand up against the coup d'état that is being happening through the Great Reset. We can stop it. There's enough information. There's enough proof out there. We can stop them if everybody gets together. Okay. So thank you very much, and we'll see you a little bit later. Thepowershift.ca. Bye bye. Okay. Ciao. Uh